Hello, good evening. I'm gonna do this video. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not and share it because you know, but I wanted to talk about uh, now that the holidays are coming. Today is December the 18th, 2018, and I want to share a story with someone that about the importance of being with the family during this important days because um, some people really cherish life and their union with their family, and some people just disregard it or not care enough about it. Like I had an incident when, on an instance, when I was working as a security guard at a company, and they had made some post, and they said some good things about me, and they decided to make me employee of the month. So I ended up at the office at the Christmas celebration they had, and I went. And while I was there, someone asked me if I wanted to do some overtime for January the 1st, and they said, "Oh, no, it's 12 hours, and time and a half. So do you want it?" I said, "Yeah, give it to me. I'll take it." And I went. Started from, I think, 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. But of course, I didn't have much of a celebration because I had to get up so early in the morning. But in the 31st, and then I spent the whole day there at a parking lot. And that's one of the, like I had a lot of rough days, like not hasn't been all, good, but that's when it comes to like how I felt in my life. That's like one of the worst days that I remember ever feeling without really, anything hard affecting me. Just the fact that I, uh, I found that empty parking lot and just me there, little gas station, and um, then for some reason I got diarrhea. So I went to that gas station over and over. So I felt embarrassed, and I drove a little further, so that I wouldn't be going there all the time. But I spent all 12 hours there, and then it had me thinking, you know, where is the person that was here, was typically here during this day? Because it's not a special commission, this is a regular post. Somebody's working here all the time, but he valued his life, enough to not be there that day. And me, I didn't. I just value a little money and some extra money that I'm gonna make, which is not gonna make me rich. So why am I here? And I felt so bad, so bad. If I had a gun, and then I started thinking about all my dreams and my hopes and my family. That was in 1996, I think. So I I wasn't married. I wasn't, I didn't have. I had a son already, but we split up. I came to Miami. She stayed in LA, and he was with her, and it was a nightmare. Everything. So the situation that it didn't work out with her and me, and you know, and now he blames me. He hates my guts, but he tells me just if you're not sending me money, don't call me. So it's that bad. So whatever. He's too old for that though. He's 33 years old, and I know I got a woman pregnant when I was too young. She was young too. She was only 21. She was older than me, but that's how that's how it happened. It wasn't nothing I'm proud of. But that one story I wanted to share because you never know who you're gonna affect. Because I mentioned it to this man, and he remembered it. He mentioned it back to me, and he said, "I remember that story you told me," and this and that. I'm like, "Well, yeah." That was like one of the worst days that I ever felt, in my life. And he said, "Really? You didn't mention that particularly. Just told me how the importance of being with the family during the holidays, and caring about being together. Because how many January the 1st do we have left? Or every single day, how many days do we have? Yeah, life is short, so why your family, if it's your mom or your dad, they care for you when you were little. You could have died, that they took care of you. Sometimes we're not the best of parents. Be patient. You have to be patient with your kids, because of course you have to discipline them, because you don't want them to be misbehave, or um, rude or anything. You want them to be good people. That because it goes a long way, and eventually in life, to just be polite all the time and be nice and courteous. It pays off, I think, because you have a more of um, nice existence. It's like you don't have a conflict all the time with other people. I wrote this screenplay, which I cannot use because on the current state, its current state because sorry, because I was trying to promote tourism in Nicaragua, so I don't want that. I can't use that. So, but one of the stories, there are two plots. One that has that it's here in Miami, and another one that's in Nicaragua. It's about two young kids. The story starts in a classroom. Two young kids liking the same girl. There's girls flirting with both of them. So next scene, we see them fighting in the back and the playground, and the teacher finds them and takes them to the principal's office, and they fake that they're not fighting, but they were, just playing, and they, come into uh, an agreement without speaking that they're gonna, say they said that they were best friends, not fighting. So they really become best friends, and then we move up to when they're older. And now that they're older, they're like 18 each. One lives with his dad, and the other one lives with his mom. And but they're still best friends. So what happens is, without them knowing, the parents became boyfriend and girlfriend. And they one day they went to the movies, and the parents they had it was a platonic relationship though. They weren't boyfriend or girlfriend physically, just They weren't having sexual contact. So they uh, they drove him. The mother drove him to the movies and left him there, and then they left. They took a plane to Nicaragua, to have like a honeymoon there. Uh, and so the guys stay homeless here. They empty their places, and they left them some money, a little money, and a few things, and just left them homeless to try to stop playing video games, and just face life for like 15 days. So, but then in the story moves on. They end up, and the parents end up meeting a drug trafficant that's there in Nicaragua, and he's trying to convince the father that he should, because okay, the story is complicated. I got into it now, and so and I won't have to show you the movie. But the thing is that he, in order to try to convince him that, to help him out with a transaction he's gonna do, he told him, like Mark Pastor says all the time, that they use the bad guy to speak some truth. So he told him, because the mother had a big problem with what she did, leaving her the kids alone, homeless in Miami. So this guy learned that from her, the drug trafficking, and then he rubbed it against this guy's face, and he told him, I don't have any kids. They had a little conversation, someone, and he said, why? How come? Because I see that parents end up doing to their own kids the shit they wouldn't dare to their own worst enemy. So that's one of the lines that I'm most happy about that I wrote in that script, because I find that it's true. I see people treating their kids horribly, so it's sad that, like there's this place by where I work. I used to live around there too, but every day I drive by there, and I see this little uh, post, three little posts there of some young guy, some I don't know if it was I don't know the genders exactly. It's probably one guy and two girls. I'm not sure, because I know there was one guy that survived. There were four people in the car at the moment. They hit a pole and they died immediately. And I was around there because I was looking for a spot to have some drinks with my girlfriend, and I was driving around, and I saw like 20 police cars and a helicopter, because the driver got out of the car, and I guess he was confused, or I don't know, or feeling guilty, or who knows. But the thing is that, imagine that, those kids were like 16, 17, and their family, and then you wonder how they were treated, if they were pushed to study, do well, get your good grades, and all you put up with this bullshit system here, and then don't care, don't think that nothing's guaranteed in this life. We could be here today out tomorrow. So we have to treasure moments, because we don't know when is the last moment. And in Nicaragua, obviously, that there was this wars, this civil war first against us to overthrow Somoza, and then the Contra and the Sandinistas fighting. Imagine how many people died, thousands and thousands of people in a war just to keep this guy, the guy who's president now. He was so hungry for power, so they wanted to stay there. And now I see some people, that they were in it before, and now they're against them. But because they're not, in the government now they hate Ortega. No, you should have hated him then, for me to believe you, because I don't believe a lot of these other people. They're all if they have an interest, economic interest, then they back you up. If not, they're probably trying to create another movement in order to overthrow him and put themselves in power. So it's an evil world, and but we have these moments in which we have to get together as family, be it Christmas or New Year's, and for me it's Christmas mostly because I this is our tradition, and I am a Christian, so I value the holiday, even though I know it's not really. I know it's a Roman, the Saturnalia and all that stuff. So that doesn't matter, it's just whatever they do, it ends up working for God anyway, because God is almighty. Whatever they do is always gonna, at the end, God's gonna win, period. But we're gonna try to improve and make an effort to improve our lives here while we're here and teach our children, and perhaps we can see the the fruits of our efforts if we do try to change things at some point and inherit that to our children. But if we don't try, we just play, watching soccer, football, baseball, boxing, basketball, all this distractions, and the soap operas, or the in Spanish or the TV series, and the Breaking Bad. Guess who's Breaking Bad? We are. So we're breaking really bad because the society is not improving as long as we continue in this hamster wheel. We have to try to break free from our current condition, and it's not going to change unless we start changing our minds and trying to develop the society that has a different concept of living without all this theft by force that we being, we were born into, and we have to try to change, because if not, we leave that to our children, and the children of our children. Amen. So just wanted to take the opportunity to say, I know that the story of the movie is a little, because you have to read the whole script, but that's the one thing I wanted to say. Sometimes like I said, I have no script for this, so I'm just and please excuse any errors. English is not my first language, and I have errors in my first language too. So nobody's perfect. But if you get the idea, I don't know who I don't know who I'm talking to, because like I talked to him, didn't expect, like you talk to a lot of people and they, whatever, they forget. But it made an impression on him, and he mentioned it to his family, and that he like it became an important thing for him. What I said. So that made me feel real good. So it's worth sharing it again with everybody. So you have a good night, and God bless you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year 2019. God bless you. Good night. Bye.